Joining me now is Congresswoman Karen Bass, Democrat from California. She was with the president when he visited Los Angeles this week to talk jobs. She was also with the president when he stopped by world-famous Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in L.A. I used to eat there before I got more disciplined. Congresswoman, thank you for coming on the show tonight, and say hello to everybody at Roscoe's. I don't do that anymore. I'm a salad man. Y'all had a little hot sauce too there. Y'all got a little hot sauce on your chicken. Congresswoman, the president around the country and in L.A. this week showed what you and I and others have been saying all along, that middle-class voters, voters in his base communities, be it middle class, be it black, Latino, haven't gone anywhere. I think that a lot of the chatter has been more noise than really reflecting of what's going on. Is that what you saw in his job swing through the West Coast this weekend?
Well, absolutely. I mean, let me just tell you that, you know, he comes to Los Angeles quite often, and there's always the controversy over the traffic. But let me tell you, when he went through the African-American and Latino community, when the motorcade went through, people were ecstatic. Folks were literally jumping up and down. I guarantee you there were no complaints about traffic on that day. But aside from that, over the last few months, I've been having community meetings all over my district. And people are very angry, but they're very clear what the problem is, and they know it's not the president.
Well, even, let me show you this graph, even a Fox News polls show most Americans like President Obama's economic ideas. They blame the GOP for stopping them. Americans on Obama's economic policies. Good idea, trouble getting them implemented. 52%. This is a Fox poll, Congresswoman.
Well, you know, they said on the first day of session that their #1 goal was to make sure that he was a one-term president. So even ideas that he have put forward that originated with them, when he puts them forward, they're against them.
Now, one of the things you and I were talking about at the Martin Luther King dedication is that the strength he has in communities of color where they tried to say that it wasn't there. The New York Times did a story yesterday, black voters' support for Obama is steady and strong. Well, they have a poll showing overwhelming support among black voters. If there was a matchup between President Obama and Governor Romney, 95% for Obama, 3% for Romney, which is more than what he got against McCain if these numbers hold. So I think whether it is what I've seen him when he came to our group, National Action Network, where you and I were with him at Congressional Black Caucus, I think it's a lot of wishful thinking. I think people are angry and want to see change and want to see things delivered, but I also think they're clear on what is going on in terms of the obstructionist policies of the opposing party.
I think people are very clear, and as I was mentioning, every weekend that I come home, I either attend community meetings or I'm holding town hall meetings or are going to forums, and people across the board are extremely upset. But they're upset with the Republicans because they're very clear that the president has specific ideas. And to tell you the truth, Reverend, I'm happy to see him issue the executive orders. I think that's a great idea. I think he should issue them every week on any subject that he can, because it's real clear that the only way we're going to get action out of the do-nothing 112th Congress is for the president to exercise his authority to the maximum. So this week it was mortgages, it was student loans. We need to keep this going.
Now, Paul Ryan says it's petty for him to be doing executive orders. You remember Congress. How do you respond to Mr. Ryan saying the president's being petty to take care of things like student loans and mortgages on homes?
Well, you know, I think we're getting ready to call Ryan the warrior for the wealthy. I heard that a couple of hours ago, and I think that's a good description. It might be petty for him, but given the percentage of people that are underwater because of their mortgages, and for folks who've been paying their mortgage on time now to be able to actually refinance, that's what the president did this week. Student loans, you know, putting a cap on it to say after so many years the loans are forgiven, or you can't pay more than 10% of your income on a loan. These are concrete steps that help people that are out there suffering, that help the people that are occupying Wall Street and occupying L.A.
Well, I think you are right, and I think that there are some of us that want to go in there and fight and get the job done, and you have become a tremendous fighter, not only for your district, but nationwide. I'm very glad to have you on tonight. And even though you've never taken me to Roscoe's, you are still one of my favorite members in Congress. Congresswoman Karen Bass, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, and I'll find a healthier restaurant for you next time you come to LA.
All right, that's a bet.